purpose of this trip is really to create an opportunity for our kids, our students, to see the world, and in seeing the world, really find a space and a place of inspiration.
So they were really able to make the connection to how similar the issues that they were researching in Brooklyn were to the social issues that are happening right here in South Africa. And so that was a hope and expectation, and I think that we really fulfilled.
We imagine that our students will see themselves through an experience like this as people who are a real catalyst for change, right? Who are truly social entrepreneurs. And in that, they start to identify that the problems in Bed-Stuy are very similar to the problems in Soweto.
It doesn't matter what experience you go through, and it doesn't matter what pain you go through, you will be able to use it in later years.
Sometimes we would be arrested. One of us got arrested because they got dogs that could sniff better than we. Our intelligence had not gotten to that level, and she got arrested. Another one got arrested because somebody else had been arrested and didn't manage to hang on and spoke.
So sometimes it's very hard, but know that it's experience that is preparing you for the future, and we never feel like that at the time. So many of the experiences that I went through were able to help me in later years.
I would also encourage you to carry on reading and giving yourself enough time to learn and grow, being exposed to things other than your home environments or what you are being taught in school. I think education goes beyond the curriculum that you get at school, and is more about being self-directed, so learning and being self-taught as opposed to being educated by someone or something else in terms of set curriculum.
Different clothes that some things you wouldn't see in America, or they were just really creative. Like one girl, she had all black and then she had newspaper on her, and it was cool and it was creative.
So much of our work is seed planting. And so I think that the work that we're doing here in South Africa and the work that we've been doing for years at Ember is really just kind of digging up what looks like hard, harsh ground to find like that beautiful, dark, rich, fertile soil underneath. I think that as they continue to grow throughout life, this will be something that they'll be able to reflect back on and really draw from as they go through things that require gratitude, resilience, and service.
Yeah, I think being on this trip created several different opportunities for our students that they would have never had back in Brooklyn. One, they get to kind of live in this 24-hour cycle of getting feedback and instruction and nurturing. And not to say that they don't get this at home, they certainly do, but not with the intention that we bring to it as their teachers. And so for that, I think they have an opportunity to kind of get careful, nuanced feedback about their study habits, about their friendship habits, about their values and beliefs that they wouldn't really be able to get at home. Because at home, they have all these other chores and demands on their time. And to look across the world, to show up here, and for them to say, you know, this actually reminds me of home. It's different in these ways, but it also reminds me of home. And I think that message hopefully will drive home to them the idea that they belong every place, at any place in this world. And that's what I'm really excited about them really taking home from this experience. And they couldn't have gotten that at all had they remained back in Brooklyn. You have to see the world to be of the world.
loved going to the botanical gardens. So the opportunity to be in nature, these are city kids, right? And so although we do have some green spaces in Brooklyn, they always need more contact with nature. And so to see the beautiful waterfalls, to see animals up close and personal, and to actually be in a place where there are flowers and you can smell them, right? I think was a really powerful experience. I felt that a sense of peace with the students on those excursions. And so I think that was powerful for them.
Billy!
Isis, Shemaya,
Miriam,
Amaya,
Kazara, Travis,
Naomi,
Dahlia, Mulai,
Our children at Ember are resilient, and so I was really excited to see how they were able to expand on their skill set that they already came with.
Everywhere we go, they've gotten everything from free food to free admission to places because people are just so excited to hear that they're from Brooklyn and that they've chosen to come here and spend this time here on the continent in South Africa. And I think that's the part for me, just as another black man, to be able to hear people say, welcome home, and hear them say that to our students and our children. It was so really powerful. And so I think when people see our kids and they see our group, they're excited and happy that we've come home.
The part we got into the small little tight areas with the light flickering, it just felt like something I've never done before, and I'm willing to experience some more in South Africa.
My favorite part of today was when we went through the cramped spaces inside the tunnel. That was really fun because I was able to come with my friends. We were leading the group kind of, and it felt really great.
African Leadership Academy. So far what I've been learning is that Africa and the different students that come to ALA from around Africa, they experience a lot of the same issues and things in their communities, and that's one way that we connect to them. And then one way that I feel that I can make an impact when I go back is that I can inform my African and black and colored brothers and sisters in the U.S. that we're not alone and that there are other people who are also going through this struggle, and that if we combined and came together could make a really big difference.
Some lessons I learned was to be more grateful, because when we went to Orange Farm, people didn't really have anything. People were sitting on the floor, and when we were on the bus today, there was this guy who was picking food from the garbage, and it made me feel really bad, so I thought I should be more grateful.
You know, our students, you know, they come from a city and a society where they are constantly dismissed, and the expectations for what's possible for them are pretty low. But they come here and everybody they meet is excited for the kind of change they're going to create in the world. The fact that they showed up here and that they made it all the way from Brooklyn, I think they see the potential in them just as we do. I think more importantly, I think our kids see it in themselves now. They know what's possible, that kind of greatness is possible. And to have that reflected to them every day by the people that they see, the people that they meet, it kind of arms them when they go back home to a really hostile environment where difference is so hated and blackness in particular is so rejected. So a great way to partner with Ember is to support us with resources. You know, we're one of the few schools that we don't get a lot of attention from big philanthropic organizations, and so most of the support that we court are from individuals and people. And so we would say give. You know, go to our website, go to our GoFundMe and give and support. Every dollar that you give will go directly to the students in their program. I think that's the best way to support us. I'd say the other great way to really support us is to be our friend and tell your friends to be our friend. I think ultimately, I don't know that our success in producing this kind of program, which is substantial, the cost for this is pretty substantial. I don't know that we're going to get, you know, some angel investor to say, well, here's $1 million to make sure you all can do this. I think it's going to be all the little voices coming together in the chorus to say, we believe this should happen for these kids. And I think the more friends that tell their friends to be our friend, I think the more likely we are to be able to provide these kinds of programs in the future. So that's what I would say, that's the kind of help we need.